home.
Welcome back to Stepping Stones to Home. I'm Brother Atur.
And I'm Isha G.
And I pray that everyone is doing well. As always, Isha G, are you good?
I'm good.
Hallelujah. So, family, how have y'all been? We missed y'all. So listen, let's jump right into this. For a long time, America taught us the wrong thing about the continent of Africa. So tonight we're going to be talking about what America got wrong.
And just more on that, like a lot of things that was done on both sides was literally to keep our minds captive and to keep us from
knowing the truth
about a lot of things. And so the time that we're living in right now, we're starting to see a lot of things changing.
Yes.
And all praises to the Most High, because it's by His hand that we're starting to see these things happening on the continent and just in His people in general. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I guess, you want me to get started?
You can get started.
Okay. So one of the things, we just did a video a few nights ago, and we had a couple people in the comments that disagreed with what we were talking about the Africans that were born here on the continent of Africa and the Africans that were born all around the world, scattered to the four corners of the earth, us actually coming back together. And I just found it really crazy that in 2025, you can still talk to people, and when they find out that you live on the continent of Africa, they ask you things like, what language do they speak in Africa?
Wait, didn't Trump say to the one president, you speak good English to be from Africa?
Look, Africa is a continent.
Right.
Number one.
It's not a country.
It's not a country. There are 54 countries that makes up the continent of Africa, okay?
That means there's a lot of different languages.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And some of those countries are off the coast, which means they're islands, but they're still countries that make up the continent of Africa. So there are a lot of cultures here.
Right.
There are over 1,000 ethnic groups on the continent of Africa. There are so many languages here, okay? And many of them have their own culture.
Right.
So that's one thing. And that's why when, like, you hear African Americans say, I don't want to come back to Africa because the Africans sold us. Which ones?
You know, what she means by that is Tanzania alone has 120, if I'm not mistaken, different tribes just in the country on the continent, the country of Tanzania on the continent of Africa. That one country has 120 different tribes within it. So to just lump everybody into one thing because they're from the African continent doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So it's like, were you there? Are you able to pinpoint which tribe actually sold our ancestors? Because there are so many different ethnic groups here. And I'm not trying to say that it didn't happen. It did happen. And we went into what we understand about why it was done in a couple of our other videos. However, we cannot just get upset with everybody on the continent of Africa because there were certain groups, certain tribes that sold our ancestors to these other people.
And you have to understand also, servitude on the continent at that time was not the same thing that the African people experienced when they were brought over to the West.
Right. So you all know how when it comes down to African Americans, one of the things that other nations have told us when they were told about African Americans, if you go to America, whatever, stay away from them. They're violent. They're criminals. We don't like
Stereotypes.
that stereotype for us. And yes, there are some African Americans that are criminals. There are some African Americans that are violent. But not all of us are like that. As a matter of fact, you're going to find that in every nation all around the world. But we don't like to be lumped together and say all of us are like that because a few are.
Right. Because
So,
I just want to say this because as a black man, this has happened to me, in the West. And it's happened to a good amount of our women now, too. You get pulled over and they tell you, you fit the description.
mm-hmm.
How do I fit the description? They said it was a black man. Oh, so just because I'm a black man, I fit the description of something that happened 2 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't like that. We complain about the police, pulling us over, treating us a certain way. Every time we get pulled over, we get treated like it's a felony stop. But you want to pretty much not in that way say that all Africans don't like you.
Right, and sold us into slavery. It's like over a billion people here on this continent. So it's impossible for you to lump everybody in a bunch. I mean, it doesn't make sense to. However, being that this is what we were told, a lot of us have woken up from that foolishness.
Yes.
Some of us have not. That's why we're still hearing it. However, a lot of us have. And that's one of the things that not only America, but these Western nations all over the world, they weren't counting on. They did not think that the day would come where we would actually wake up from our slumber and say, hey, wait a minute. What is the truth about what actually went down?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't expecting that. So here we are, 2025, and many of us are trying to find our way back home. Many of us are inquiring, how do we get back? How do we transition back? It really reminds me of the scripture that says that our people would be crying, saying, show us the way to Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the things that have been happening all around the world, especially in the U.S., many of our people want to leave, want to get out of there and saying we need to go back to where everybody look like us. So it's time. It's what the Most High is doing. The other thing is we know that the U.S. and the Western nations have done a phenomenal job with media. And so
they own it all.
Right. They own it all. They tell you what type of movies to make.
What type of music to make.
Right. What books they want you to read. And so the things that were pumped in our head were images of African continent where there was wars and
famine.
Right. Starvation. Everybody was poor. And they did their best to keep us, the African Americans, from ever wanting to connect back with the continent.
You know what's funny? We joke about this, but let's see, how old would I be this year? 48?
I think so.
I'll be either, I told you I don't get my age. All right, I'll be 47 or either 48. I don't know. I'll figure it out this year. But how many of y'all remember, please put in the comments, how many of y'all remember the little boy with the big old stomach with the flies from when we were children? I remember being 9, 10 years old, seeing the commercial about Africa, the boy with the big old stomach and flies flying on him. But the crazy part was, I remember also being 30 years old and seeing that same video.
Yeah, me too. Or the little boy with the big belly and there's this Caucasian lady giving him water to drink.
Right.
These are the images that were given to us. Slums everywhere. It's dry everywhere. It's hot. It's nothing there. So if you tell a person this is a place that has nothing, there's no life pretty much there. There's only wars that are going on there. People are starving to death there. There's no food. There's no clean water. How do you expect a person to react? And that's a tactic that they use on, I will say for sure, the African Americans. Now, I wasn't raised in the islands, I wasn't raised in Europe, but in the US, that's the images that we were given. And so they did their best to keep us from ever wanting to actually connect back with the continent. They didn't want us to be curious about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the Most High. It just so happens the same tools that they use, social media, all these grand ideas,
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram,
right, was the very tool that was going to be used to show us the truth
mm-hmm.
about our land, showing us the modern cities, and we're like, wait, what?
All the food that's here. I mean, just right here, we can walk down the road. We're going to see papayas. We're going to see mangoes. We're going to see bananas. We're going to see people growing greens, growing onions, potatoes, sweet potatoes.
Right. So, there are strong economies in some of the African nations. I'm not saying all of them have really strong economies, but some of them do. And people are not walking around starving. I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm just being honest. So that was something that they did. They never realized that we would actually find out the truth by using the very things that they make so much money off of, these social media apps. But that is the hand of the Most High. The very thing that you use is what He used so He could open up the minds of His people.
Right.
And that is the Most High, our Creator, that we serve. So,
hallelujah.
Yeah, it's just, I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, it's really amazing, just the stuff that the Most High has been doing. Another thing is they actually believe still that Africa feel like they need them. That's the thing. That's why they feel like they can do any and everything, because they like, you depend on me. You depend on me for, aid and all these things. It's a new day, y'all. Today's a new day. And the same people who were doing that before, our ancestors who did not, it was really the curses that, was happening to us. And so our ancestors, yes, they fell into that. But this is a new generation. And so the younger generation is standing up and saying, no, we don't want you. We don't need you. And so they thought that we were going to always depend on them.
Right. It's like right now, President of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, and the other Sahel countries, they're standing up and they're saying, look, we don't need Western aid. We're going to figure this out. And they're figuring it out. They're doing it just using their own people, and their people believe in them. And that's all it takes, is for real leaders to stand up. Even here in Botswana, President Boko has announced that the diamonds are no longer going to be sent out as raw diamonds to other countries to refine these diamonds, causing the country of Botswana to lose the money. So he's telling them now that, hey, if you want my diamonds, then you need to buy them from us. We're going to go ahead. We'll refine them. We'll get them all nice and shiny for you, for your necklaces, your rings, and your earrings. And then you come and you buy them from us.
Right. So our people are waking up, and we're being self-sufficient. We're being innovative. We're just the minds of our people. It's amazing. And we're getting to see what we actually can do here on the continent.
Right.
So we're waking up culturally, we're waking up spiritually, because one of the biggest things that they were afraid of is the spiritual awakening of our people. They have been terrified terrified of our spirituality for a long time. And I'm not saying that all African spirituality is right. I'm not saying that at all. But there is some that is, but they have deemed everything and have taught us that everything in Africa is witchcraft, and so don't deal with anything pertaining to what is considered African spirituality. But we are African people.
Right.
One. And secondly, the way that the Creator created us, we have always been a peculiar people. We have always done things that don't make sense
to anybody
else. But that is because of who our Creator is,
right,
who we serve. So, we seem a little strange. I always say,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Y'all
right?
okay with that?
So,
if you're okay with that, put it in the comments. I'm okay with being different.
So, one of the things that I always say, for people who say that a lot of the stuff that the Africans do is witchcraft, do you read the Bible? Do you read the Bible? And for those who read the Apocrypha, or who knows about the Apocrypha, do you read it? Because just in the 66, you see a lot of stuff that people call witchcraft, but it is not. It's in the Bible. So if you saw somebody telling a darn axe head to come up out the water and it do, what would you say? What would you say if somebody had a rod and made their flock pass under it and they came out different colors on the other side of the rod? What would you say to that? When they say that our people were casting lots, look up what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know how people?
Yeah. Look, we learned that somewhere, y'all.
So, think about all of those things that has happened. Think about Moses. And everything that happened, dropping a stick down, he was doing the same thing as the people who they called magicians.
Yep.
So we have to think about this stuff and not lump everything in a bunch and say that it's bad, it's wrong. Because if it's something that the Most High tells you to do, it is not witchcraft.
Right.
When it comes down to it, what it is who you getting your power from? That's the thing. Who's telling you to do those things, and who is giving you the power to actually be able to manifest those things that's happening? See, it was the Most High who was actually doing that through Moses. It was the Most High who was doing that through the prophets. It was the Most High who was doing that through, who was it? Jacob with the flock. It was him.
Wait. Now let's go to the New Testament, because y'all know I got my people out there who's going to say that was the Old Testament. Well, let's go to the New Testament, when the Messiah took mud and put it in the man's eye.
Right.
Hello.
What would that be called?
He turned the water into wine.
Right. So, these are the things that our people have been afraid of. When you read the Apocrypha, it talks about the supernatural strength of our people.
Right.
Right? And so the more they keep us in disobedience to the Most High, we're weak. When we're disobedient to him, we're not
honoring him.
Yes, we're not honoring him. We're not being good stewards with the things that he's given us, the resources that he's given us, everything he's given us, the culture that he's given us, the foods that he's given us. We turn our nose up at these things. And so it keeps us in bondage. And they know that. They know that this stuff that they feed to us, just about every ingredient, every product, you're going to find pork ingredients and all kind of ingredients of stuff that we ain't supposed to be eating.
Right.
And so that stuff, I know the Most High, he does have mercy on us, but because it's very hard these days, because they make up all kind of words. Don't nobody know what this word don't even know how to pronounce this word, but they put it on the boxes of ingredients. But when you really do your research, a lot of these things are what was considered unclean in the Bible.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say, we could eat whatever. To each their own. However,
Who said that?
there is a reason why the Most High told His people don't eat certain things. Everything He tells us, it's a reason behind it. And so these unclean animals that He told us not to eat, these things harm our bodies. Mm-hmm. There's a makeup of our people, and it's the makeup of us. It comes from the soil. So the diet that He gave us is a diet that actually is healthy for our bodies. It's a diet that actually where we get all the minerals and the vitamins that we need to keep our bodies healthy and whole.
Right.
They feed us the opposite because it makes us weak eating those things, because those things cause diseases in our bodies. And so they have been afraid of our spiritual connectivity through food, through just how the Most High works through us. They have been terrified of our people. That is why you hear them saying, when they, are doing all these atrocities to our people for no reason, our men and women on the street and stuff in handcuffs, and you just taking them out for no reason. And they say they always feel afraid. They feel like their life is in danger.
Yeah.
It is no coincidence that they're saying that when you read the Bible and what our people had the ability to do. So this is why they are afraid of us, and why they do their best to keep us in disobedience to the Most High, keeping us sick in our bodies and keeping us away from each other, because there is power spiritually when it comes down to us, our people. So our people are starting to wake up to those things. Our people are waking up to what happens when we get the help from these other nations. Mm-hmm. When we get the help from these nations, they trick our people. It's what it is. It's a big trick.
Sleight of hand.
Right, a sleight of hands. I'll do this for you if you allow me to do this in your country. Mm-hmm. I'll do this for you if you allow me to bring in my media. I'll do this for you if you allow me to bring in my education system. I'll do this for you if you allow me to sell our type of clothing in your country. I'll do this for you if you allow me to bring in our fast food, our type foods and everything. So when you look at all of these things, it literally destroys us.
Right.
It destroys us, and it keeps us in poverty. It keeps us being the tail by continuing to accept these handouts.
Keeps us in a state of bondage.
Right. And so that's really what is happening when we continue to say we'll accept aid from you. It has never been something that has been free, because we have suffered as a people by accepting their aid. While they come here and they make these deals and say, yeah, I'll build you a bridge, I'll build you a factory, but I'm going to put my media here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take your resources, and I'm going to take your artifacts, and I'm going to go back to my country, and I'm going to make millions with it.
I'm going to give you nothing.
Pennies. This is what happens when we continue to take handouts. We continue to devalue ourselves. We continue to devalue our land. And we continue to allow these people to come over here, take this stuff for paper.
Which paper is literally an IOU. It has no value. Mentally, they tell us that it has a value, but it doesn't. It's an IOU. Look it up. The US dollar is a promissory note. It means it's an IOU.
Yeah.
It's worthless.
But we're changing, and we're learning, and our minds are being open. And so this is not going to continue. It's not going to continue with our people. So the other thing is, it's been said that Africa is a crap hole. Well,
we know who said that.
If it is, then why in the world does America, the US of A, all these other nations, why are they scrambling to keep their grip on the continent? If it's a crap hole, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What do you want with this place if it is a crap hole?
Why are you putting tariffs on a continent that you say is a crap hole? You know,
right.
We don't cuss y'all, so that's why we say in crap hole. But y'all know what we mean, right?
They're taking the gold, the diamonds, the oil. They're taking the artifacts and everything when it comes down to our culture. What else?
The workforce they take from here.
Right, they take the workforce from here. It doesn't make sense. I got some things listed here that I just thought of. So why is it that non-Africans are the ones making millions, if not billions, off of stuff like shea butter, African black soap, those African cloths that's popular right now, African jewelry, African fashion? And the reason I say that, because I've told y'all before, I found out that a lot of the fabrics that have African print is actually made by other nations, and then they sell it back to Africa to sell to tourists.
And the Africans don't even wear those things. Like, look, African people don't wear dashikis.
They don't.
That's what America told us.
But for the fabrics that we do wear, that doesn't make sense for other nations to be making the fabric, selling it back to you for you to actually sell in your own country.
Right.
That makes no sense. So these are things that are popular around the world. How many black women use shea butter, use black soap? I mean, come on.
All the black women I know use it.
You could go on and on about these products, but they're made here. You make shea butter. Shea butter comes from here. That black soap comes from here, where you have so many people. It became popular. Yet we're not the ones making millions and billions off of it.
We're talking about the African people.
The African people, right? Because y'all know how I feel. I consider all of us African people because we are, and that's wherever we are, scattered to the four corners of the earth, we are African people. So these are our resources, but other nations are making all the profits from them.
But they don't like it here. I don't understand.
Think about the museums. They have amazing museums in the U.S.
full of African art.
And around the world. Why is it that some of the most amazing museums that showcase animals from Africa, African artwork, why are they not here? Why are they in all these other nations? And so this is what I'm saying. They say that this is a crap hole country, but they making all nation, yes, nation, thank you for that, nation and country, but they making all the money off of the stuff that they're getting from here. It can't be that crappy.
Right. They all want it. They all scrambling for it. It's the scramble for Africa. Whether y'all want to believe it or not, let me tell y'all something. They telling y'all one thing on the news over there, but on the other side of the table, which is over here, they trying to make all kind of deals with these African leaders to get this, to get that, because they are running out. Right. So all y'all that want to talk about, the West is running out of stuff. The only place that's not running out of stuff is the so-called crap hole place.
Right.
So make it make sense. Right.
So the thing is, that's why I say it's a new day. This has been what's been going on for
too long.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. It's a new day. And the younger generation,
they not having it.
No, we're not about to keep doing this foolishness. And we're not. Them bringing their twisted lifestyles and all kind of stuff and feeding it to our children and stuff. No. Nowadays, you can say you want to be whatever it is, and they say in the U.S. you can. If you say I want to be a cat, you can identify as a cat.
And then they use the Christian church to back it up, to say, yes, God loves everybody.
But here's the thing. The truth is, it don't matter if you dress up in a cat suit. It don't matter if you walk on all fours or want to lick yourself. You are not a cat. It don't matter what you say.
And if you look like us, the police gonna pull you over because they're gonna say you fit the description of a black cat.
Stop. See, I was being serious why you had to say that. But anyways, I'm sorry, y'all. He always gets. But it is true. You got some people that believe they babies, grown behind people got on diapers and sleeping in big behind cribs and want somebody to change their tail and all kind of stuff because they identify as a baby. It don't matter what you put on or what you sleep in. Everybody know you ain't no child. But they bring this twisted culture to our people and feed it to our young people, and you're starting to see that cultural influence over here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we're not about to keep doing it. Like I said,
No.
it's a new day, it's a new generation, and we are going to start having our own things again. Now, how all this is going to happen, I don't know, but I know what the Bible says.
Right.
And so, we're going to have our own food again. We're going to start going back to our ancient foods, our ancient grains. We are. A lot of the foods that we eat were imported from European nations and nations where we were not born from that soil.
Right. And the people here are realizing, wait, I don't need to import anything from these European nations because I got good soil here. Mm-hmm. I got good seeds here. Unlike most of the world, they ain't got no seeds anymore. They got seeds here. They can plant their own stuff now. They're learning how to plant their own stuff here.
Right.
They've been doing it, but it's becoming more of a mainstream thing to do agriculture on a large scale.
So, and this is for my people here, my African brothers and sisters, leave that GMO stuff alone. Leave them GMO seeds alone. Because that stuff is not natural. It was not created by the Most High. Remember, He created the stuff for us to eat. And if it is not Him that created it, we should not
be eating it.
Looking that way to eat it. So GMO, genetically modified food, is not something that we should be putting in our bodies. Now, I get it. We can't help it right now, but we have to start somewhere. It may not be our generation that actually benefits from it. I hope it is. It may be our children, but we have to start. We have to go back to how we used to eat. Why is it that our ancestors didn't complain about diseases and stuff that we have today? It is a diet that they kept.
Right.
They didn't eat any and everything.
Mm-mm.
So we have to go back to our diet. We have to go back to our agriculture, planting our own foods. And I say again, ancient grains, getting back to those things, because a lot of these things that we eat is not good. It doesn't balance with the chemistry of our bodies. I know we all like potatoes, white potatoes, to each their own, but that's not something that was here. So
now the sweet potato was here. Look, my southerners, y'all know them yams was here. Them sweet potatoes.
So we need to get back to that, and it's important to get back to our agriculture, not only for food but also for medicine. Let thy food be thy medicine.
Wow.
The leaves were made for the healing of the nation. So the Most High tells us we shouldn't be dealing with things that we're dealing with in our bodies just by eating properly. But because we're dealing with so much, that has to let us know that this stuff that we're eating is actually what is killing everybody. We have to go back. When we all hear people saying, we have to consider the ancient past, we have to return back to it. That's in our food too. It goes down to every area of our life. Every area of our life.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go back to taking traditional medicines. I get it. Right now, some people don't have a choice but to take the chemical stuff. Most of us don't even know what to do about the stuff that we go through in our body. So we have to pray and do the best we can. But we should be researching. We should be trying to figure out what things actually is a cure for these things.
What vitamins, what proteins am I missing from my diet?
Right. For my doctors out there who know who we are, who wants to return to the continent, y'all should be looking into this stuff. Y'all know that this stuff does not heal our people because y'all deal with people on the daily, and you see it does not. You see it can band-aid something else, but you put a band-aid on this hole and it backs up and it starts pushing out out of this hole over here. Now this is going on. So that is not fixing everybody.
Right. It's just suppressing it.
So doctors, I know you went to school already. But you all have access to a lot of stuff that the regular person don't have access to. Y'all should be doing y'all research to find out what can be done to actually heal the body, to heal us of these ailments. The Most High, Yahuwah, He put the recipes there. They're on the trees. They're in the ground. They're everywhere. Just take your phone. It's almost any weed that grows in your yard is going to be good for something.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have health benefits from it. It's going to say it's used in this country for this, this, and this. They always say it's used in these other countries, but then at the end it'll say, but consult a doctor because it can be toxic.
Yeah.
Yet it's used to treat and to cure in all these other countries, but you Google it and it says, yeah, it has all these benefits, but it's toxic, so don't use it.
You know, ECG brought up the doctors. There's a call going out on the continent right now for so a lot of the Africans, when we talk to them, they'll say, I want to go to the West. I want to go Europe, America for a better life because they believe that they're going to have better opportunities if they go to those places. So they go there and then they get jobs, they go to school, you know, but they never come back.
Mm-hmm.
But the call has gone out and they're coming back to the continent now. Not just the doctors, but it's the engineers,
mm-hmm.
it's the architects. Who else is coming back?
There's a lot of our people and different professions are coming back. But yeah.
The IT specialist, thank you.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So all of these things are important for us to get back to. So we're going to get back to doing those things.
Right.
I appreciate all of my people, especially the ones in the island that have been putting out those videos about the herbs and stuff that are used in the island still. I appreciate y'all because we need to understand these things. Right. We need people who are naturalists that can say, yes, this is a herb, but we need to know how to use this stuff. Like you can't just go out there picking some herbs and you don't know how much to take.
Right.
You mess yourself up. But that's why I say our doctors and our naturalists, we need more of our people that are going to get on this. Because we're not, like I say, we're not about to keep doing this. We're not about to keep on prescribing stuff that we know is killing folks. Remember, we held accountable for the stuff that we do.
Right.
So we're going to get back to that. I said we're going to get back to our agriculture, our food. We're going to get back to our clothing. Because for a lot of people, most of us, and even the ones here on the continent, we all wear these same rags here. Same thing. This is not our clothing, our traditions. This came from them deals that I was talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. I'll do this for you, but let us come and sell our clothes in your country.
Wearing a Chinese fabric that's supposed to be African. Don't make sense.
So, and again, even with the fabrics that we put on our body, look, these people, everything they do, like I said, was to keep us suppressed. Even the fabrics that we put on our body carries a certain frequency. They've done the experiments on it. And there's fabrics that cancel each other out. There's fabrics that cause negative frequencies, all kind of stuff on your body. Now, I know some people, when you say words like frequencies, they start thinking, oh, they into something. No, it's real. There's energy that runs through everything. Everything. There are people that are sticking darn plugs into trees and they're charging their phones. There's energy in everything.
Everything.
So even the fabrics, we were wearing certain types of fabrics because these fabrics carry higher frequencies, which is better for your body because it allows the energy to flow freely through your body. So they even tampered with that, with making us wear all these synthetic fabrics and stuff, mixing fabrics, which the Most High told us not to do because he knew it was going to dampen us.
Right.
He knew that it was going to cause energy not to flow in our bodies freely. So they gave us these fabrics to wear, but we have to get back to wearing fabrics that he made for us to wear, that he not made, but he told us that it is okay for us to wear. And so we will get back to those things.
Right.
Because they thought we would not find out. They thought we would be dumb forever. They thought that they could just pull the wool over our eyes forever. That's what they thought. They didn't think some of us would start researching these things. They didn't think that the very ones that were building these nations, for them, that they were making us to go higher. They want us to learn more, do it better, do it better. We did it better. And it made us start to think. Because we're able to do it better, we started being able to research better. Mm-hmm. We started being able to do all these things that allow us, some scientists that are our people, to start doing these tests on fabrics and all kind of things like that. Thank you. Because everything they did to try and keep us suppressed is actually backfiring.
Right.
It's making us stronger. It's what has brought us to where we are now. And it doesn't matter what they try to do, it's always going to backfire. It's always going to have the opposite effect because you're fighting against the Creator. And this is His will for this to happen. It is His will for this continent to rise. It is His will for us to come back together. So, go ahead.
And so, like my wife was saying, the time is now for our people to come back to the continent, for our brothers and sisters here on the continent, for us to come together, work together, and to create a new future here on the continent. It's time for the two sticks to come back together.
Right. So, we want our engineers back. We want our doctors back. We want all of our professional people back. We want our performers back. I was thinking about the Lion King, right? Why is it you have these, you go to whatever they call it, Disney on Ice, or all these different performances and everything, and when it comes down to them showcasing what's supposed to be Africa, you got other color folks playing Africans. Why do they have these big elaborate performances portraying this continent? Where are the big elaborate performances on this continent?
Where's the acrobats and all of that? That's from here.
Right. It doesn't make sense, does it?
But they got plenty of them here.
So we getting all our stuff back. Number one, we not about to keep doing this foolishness. I know it's a lot of us that feel this way.
You know what came to me?
What?
I want my daddy record back.
Right? So yeah, we gonna do this, y'all. It's hard right now. It's hard being here on the continent right now. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard because things just are not how they should be yet.
But it's changing.
It's changing, and we have to stay focused, and we have to keep pushing.
Right.
And my next thing is, like my husband said, it's time for us to actually build together. All of us are not millionaires. We're not. Most of us are not. Most of us ain't even thousandaires.
But most of us have a brain that is priceless.
Right. And not just that, because it's so doggone many of us, do you understand the power of our finances? Do you understand the power of if just a few hundred of us got together and over here and a few hundred over there and a few hundred over here and a few hundred over there, and we put our resources together to build manufacturing, to build agriculture, to build tourism, to build all sorts of things, housing communities, to build hospitals and medical facilities, to grow our herbs, to design our own clothing, to start marketing ourselves. Can you imagine? Our money goes so far. It's so many of us. There is no reason for us not to be able to do it. Right. It doesn't take a lot. If you got darn over 1 billion people on this one continent, What about the rest of us scattered to the four corners of the earth? Can you imagine if all of us gave what's equivalent to 5 USD?
Hmm.
Can you imagine what we could do with that on the continent? So we have to actually come together with the mind, with the resources. We cannot continue to allow scams that have happened on the continent and the hurt that we felt from each other on both sides, hurt that we have felt. We cannot continue to allow that to cripple us in fear. We can't. We can't allow that to stop us from moving forward. If we only focus on, I got scammed one time, if we focus on, this is what's been going on, where they say they don't like me, they don't want me to come back to the continent. If we just focus on, oh, they sold my ancestors into slavery, and oh, a few of them said some things that hurt my feelings. If we keep focusing on those things, nothing, we will always stay down. We will always remain the tail. If we keep trying to hold on to a culture that was never ours, we will always be the tail. Because, like I said, and I'm talking to the African Americans now, because the culture that we try and hold on to is not one that glorifies the Most High, the Creator. So we keep getting upset about stuff that actually dishonors Him. That makes no sense. Our culture, if you want to be honest, like I say, research where we get our language from. Research some of the words that we say that we just heard grandma them saying, and understand that it's actually a Bantu language. Research that stuff. Research the food that we eat and see that it came from right here on the continent. That is our culture. That is why we still do it to this day. All around the world. You see that us African folks, we eat pretty much the same doggone thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a part of us. Why is it that in the y'all see my head wrap I got on right here? Why we find this everywhere? Why do all of us wrap our heads up? I'm not saying your hair got to be wrapped 24/7, but it's just something that naturally happens. Why? You nobody has to teach you that. It is in us. It is a part of us. So that's the stuff that we should be looking at. That stuff ties us together. But we focus on the wrong stuff that actually was given to us. Who do y'all think that's behind the music industry, the movie industry, the clothing industry? Who's behind all of that? Not our people.
Nope.
Not our people. It's not our people telling our people to make this type of music and this type of movie and this type of clothing. It's not. It's them. So what we're glorifying and what we're defending is what they told us we had to have. What they told us we had to wear. What they told us we had to eat. What they told us we had to do in movies to become famous or to have money. What they told us we had to sing about or rap about. This is what we're glorifying and calling our culture.
Not to mention, they make movies and TV shows telling you straight up, we did this to destroy the black neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we will watch these TV shows and we'll be like, yeah, that movie right there, that was on point. That right, but you still supporting them. And they tell you what they did. They put it right in your face.
Right.
And you okay with it.
But now imagine all of that talent. Imagine all of that talent and the resources if we combine them and we use it here. We use it to glorify the Most High. Can you imagine that? If we do that, we can build something that these Western nations could have never imagined. But we have to put aside our differences. And it's starting to happen.
Right.
We're starting to see it. It's still ones holding on, trying to hold on. Oh, we ain't going that way. Like I said, you stay where you want to stay.
You grown.
Right. But for those of us who do have that heart, even if you have been hurt, you have to learn to forgive on both sides. We have both been hurt by each other. We have to move forward.
Right. And truth be told, we didn't intentionally hurt each other.
Right.
That was a learned characteristic that we got.
Yes.
They told the Africans to treat the African American or those dispersed a certain way, and then they told those who were dispersed to treat the African a certain way. Man, we got to see through the mess, man. We just got to really see through the mess.
Right. So we can't give in to fear. We cannot give in to the pain. We cannot give in to the division. We have to do what we have to do. And many of us, like I said, we're starting to. But we need more of our brothers and sisters to hop on board.
Right.
If you've been feeling it and you know, hop on board. Even if you don't know how to help, how to contribute with your prayers. Because we need the Most High to continue moving on our behalf. We need Him to move the obstacles out of our way.
Remove the stumbling blocks.
We really do. And so that's an old trap that they've been using with our people to get us to always be at each other. But we're not going to keep doing it. We're not about to fall for the okie doke over and over again. It's insanity. We see this. We're not going to fall into the trap.
Then you put no banana in my tailpipe.
Right? So the last thing is the barriers to us connecting. And this has been something that has been going on for a very long time, and it's one of the biggest, it's not the only obstacle, but it's one of the biggest obstacles that we have to get over. And that obstacle is how if you're saying you want us to be able to help build, how do we do that when many of us want to? How do we do that if you do not give us the opportunity to actually freely come back to the continent?
Right.
How do we do that? And I'm not just talking about African Americans, from all over. How do we come together to build this place if we are not allowed to freely move back home?
Right.
I'm not saying for us to move and depend on the government, because many of us are retired and can take care of ourselves. Many of us are retired and have resources to invest. Many of us have business ideas and have the resources to start those businesses, to provide jobs, to help in all these sectors. Many of us have critical skills or have already put together programs and all sorts of things that can benefit the continent. But how do we do it if you don't open the door for us to come in?
And I just want to say this. I get it. You cannot just let anybody into these countries here on the continent. I respect that, because I'm not just going to let anybody in my house either. But all we're asking for our brothers and sisters here on the continent to do is to give us a seat at the table. Let us begin to have conversations.
Right.
So where both parties can be made to feel comfortable.
Right.
To where we feel comfortable coming in and you feel comfortable allowing us to come in. Because we get it. We weren't born here. I get that. However, my blood comes back to here. And so I helped build America. My ancestors, which are your ancestors, helped build America, helped build other places around the world. It's time for us to come home and to do that here.
Yes.
And we need to sit down, put our heads together and say, how can we benefit Africa?
How can we benefit each other? And coming to the table, like he said, we get it. It can't just be where you open the doors and say, okay, all y'all millions and millions all around, just come on back. No.
Because you're going to get some rotten apples, and we're trying to keep the rotten apples out also.
There has to be policies and planning, okay, put in place for that to happen. We understand that, but there has to be more talk on the continent within these different countries for us to be able to help We want to help. Many of us want to come home and help, but we can't come home and help when, I'm just being honest, your immigration officers stop us at the door. We cannot come home and help when you got your immigration officers bribing people. I've heard the stories.
All over the continent.
I've heard the stories. We cannot come back when we are being done like that. It just, it's highway robbery.
Right.
We cannot come back like that. And I know for sure that the heads of the country know what's going on. And so it's like, it scares our people away. It puts fear in them when they hear the stories of what has happened, not just to the African American,
To the
African people all over who have come back, who have tried to come back,
or come from other countries to different countries on the continent.
Right. So there has to be something done from the top down, because this corruption, when it comes down to immigration in a lot of these countries, it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I get it. It's because they don't make as much as they either would like, or a lot of them, which I have seen it in the countries that I've been in, they don't make a lot of money. So it is always survival mode. It is 24/7 survival mode. How can I get enough to make my ends meet? How can I get enough to send my child to get to a good school? How can I get enough to keep a roof over my children's head? So it's all of this stuff that's going on. Some of them just plain out evil, just being honest.
Right.
But it's all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes that causes our people to do it. But here's the thing. We have to start looking at the bigger picture. Understand that the reason we're saying we need to come together, something has to be done for us to be able to come back, is because we see that you're hurting. We see that you don't have enough. We see that you need more to keep a roof over your children's head. So guess what? We have to come back. We have to work together so that we can create things. We can create jobs. We can now say the country has enough coming in where people don't have to live below the poverty line.
Nobody's lacking.
Nobody is lacking. That's the whole purpose. But we have to let go of that quick dollar mentality, that quick whatever your currency is mentality.
Right. It created an inheritance.
Right. So that has to happen for us to be able to come back. Because I'm just going to be honest with you. I love this continent. I love my people here. I love my people all around the Caribbean, the U.S., Europe, in Canada, wherever they are. I love our African people. But this is the mindset of the African people wherever we go. Wherever we go, it's the same. And in order for us to rise, we have to come together.
Right.
We have to stop with the quick money mindset. We have to look at the bigger picture. If I stop being corrupt and I actually allow them to come and open the businesses, I actually allow them to come and we collaborate together, then that's going to help me. That's going to help my children. That's going to help my grandchildren. So you have to stop just looking at now, and you have to look at the future. Because if you keep thinking about right now, nothing will change.
Right. Like our sister said, we have to sow seeds for success that we might all rise.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to come together. We have to work together. We have to come up with policies that work for everybody.
Right.
Safeguards for everybody that's trying to come here and be a benefit to the continent.
Right.
It's not going to be easy. I get that. There's going to be some rubbing each other the wrong way because there's just some things we might not understand and some things you might not understand.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't even take the opportunity to open the floor to just have discussions,
right,
it doesn't benefit anybody. And then the world wins. That means Africa sinks. But that's not what we want. We want Africa to rise. We want the people to stand together, to stand united, to let them know you cannot stop Yahuwah's creation.
Right. So just remember, for other nations whom are so freely let in, remember where the resources go when they come and open their businesses. Remember where the finances go. It goes right back to their countries. We're not coming here to do that. No. We're not coming here to work and to send money back to America or Canada or Europe. We're not coming here to do that. We're coming here to work, to deal with our people, to help each other, to help the countries individually rise, to help the continent rise. We're not coming here to take.
Right.
Like these other nations. That's what you have to think. We're African people. Where do we send our stuff back to?
It'll have to come back here.
So, we're very wise people when we want to be. We are very wise. We are so innovative. We're inventors. We're the best at everything. Look, everything we do, we excel at it.
Right.
Every stage they put us on, we dominate. We have to understand. I'm talking about the continent right now and our people on the continent and in diaspora everywhere. We have to create our own stage. We do not need to continue to compete on theirs.
Right.
We have a world within ourselves. We have to stop feeling like we need to show them anything. We have nothing else to prove. We've proved it on every stage.
Right.
Intellectually, we shine.
Athletically,
we shine. Medically, we shine. Excuse me, y'all. We shine. When it comes down to the culture, whatever it is we start doing, we make it trendy. We right. shine in everything that we do. So what else do you think you have to prove to these other nations? There's nothing to prove. You don't have to prove that you're smarter because we already have.
Right.
You don't have to prove any of these things because you see it all around the world. We dominate.
We are the original trend setters.
Right.
They need us. We don't need them.
And so, it's just the truth. I know some people may not like what we're saying, but it's the truth. And we have to really start looking at that when it comes down to ourselves. Look at us. This is what we have. What we have is what has basically put the funds in every other nation's pocket and made them up here. What we have is what they always use. But we have to create our own stage. We have to create our own market. And we have to start supporting our market.
Right.
So it will happen.
It will.
It will happen because, like I say, little by little, kidogo, what we learned in Tanzania, it is starting. The mindsets are starting to change. It seems like it's slow, but it's happening in the Most High's time. And so whatever the Western nations try and do to stop us, it actually drives us.
Right.
So, just like I said, the Most High, he can't be stopped. It was written already. The two houses were gonna become one again.
Right.
And that's what we're starting to see happening here on the continent. And so the reunion is happening.
Yep.
Whether they want it to happen or not.
So look, y'all bring y'all field games.
Right.
Somebody bring the cooler with them drinks in it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna throw some meat on the grill and we're gonna braai.
Right.
We don't say barbecue here, we say braai.
Right.
We're gonna braai.
That's another thing. Everywhere we go, we all barbecue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just it's in us. It is literally time for the children of Africa, the continent, to come back home. I don't care how well you're doing in those other countries. You can do better here.
Yep.
It's time for our people to come back home. And as I said before, if you don't agree with me, that is absolutely your prerogative. You don't have to. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You do not have to leave where you are. You could stay right there in whatever country you in. You could keep thinking what you're thinking about my ancestors were sold by Africans. However you want to think. You could keep saying, no, we don't want the African Americans back here. You keep saying that all you want. It does not matter. But for those of us who understand what is going on, who really sees the writing on the wall, we have to push. We have to keep going. We have to keep on in spite of the hurt that has happened, the times where we have been taken advantage of and scammed. We have to look past all that and say, it doesn't feel good, but I'm looking past this and I'm looking at the goal. I'm looking at what we're headed towards. And I have to just keep my eyes off of the foolishness, keep my eyes on the Most High, and just keep going forward towards the goal. For a lot of us who have come out first, it hasn't been easy for us over here.
Right.
And honestly, a lot of our brothers and sisters, for the most part, don't support us. A lot of us who have tried to start things have not had the support behind it. I get it. Some people have been hurt, have been scammed, but that's not everybody. If you continue to allow fear, like I said, nothing will ever be done. You have to get past it. We cannot live in fear forever.
Right.
So what the Most High is doing is going to continue. It's going to get bigger. We're hearing countries now opening up citizenship to our people.
More and more.
More and more. And more of them will. But we have to have these conversations. We have to have our people here in different countries making connections,
right,
for us to be able to have those conversations. It is going to happen. Whether people here on the continent like it or the ones scattered to the other four corners of the earth like it. It is going to happen. So, we're living in a time where prophecy is unfolding.
Boy, is it.
It is unfolding. And we just give praises to
the Most High
because it's Him.
Yeah.
It's Him that's been doing this. It's Him that's been doing the shaking on the continent. And I'm so thankful for the things that I am getting to see myself. Seeing leaders starting to stand up to these Western nations and not be afraid.
And being okay when the Western nations say, we're going to cut your aid, we're going to put a tariff on you. Yeah. My eyes got big because she hit the camera. And so I love it. I love it when I see them saying, you know what? I'm going to believe in my people. I'm going to believe that my people can make a difference here on the continent.
And we can. I know Obama had that thing. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we will. So, look, y'all. We have to have these conversations. I know we talk a lot on here, but our desire is to be able to sit down and really have these conversations with our brothers and sisters here on the continent, both on camera and off camera.
Right. And we know the Most High is going to do it because He's already opening some doors, and we got some videos coming out later on that we're going to show some of these conversations with our brothers and sisters here on the continent.
Yeah.
Because there are brothers and sisters here on the continent, whether y'all want to believe it or not, that want us to come back here. Yes. And that have a desire to see Africa rise, and they know that they can't do it by themselves. And we can't do it without them.
Together.
Know.
So I just want to say this. Like you say, we are going to be showing some of those things. I have a question though for my people here on the continent of Africa, my lovely melanated chocolate people. I say that because I used to call my nephew my chocolate man because he was so dark and just looked like rich dark chocolate. And it's so beautiful. Y'all know the darker a person's skin is, the more beautiful it is. It's some of the most beautiful silky skin.
Yes.
And it's like, dog, why your skin shine like that? you just it's amazing. The melanin that the Most High has placed inside of our bodies, that it's one of the hottest commodities. our melanin.
It's a resource they really, really want real bad.
So my question is, for my people here, like I say, that's here, born here on the continent of Africa, what projects do y'all have? What things can we actually come together with and
be a part of?
Many of us, we don't have a lot, but we have a little that we can invest
And we have knowledge that we can
right.
invest.
We can do these things. So for my leaders of all the countries, what projects do y'all have that you can open up investments to your people everywhere?
Right.
I get it. Some things are listed on websites. Some things are not, but like we have to make more of an effort for us to actually have the information. How do we invest in these things? Y'all gotta understand when we all invest in these things, we all rise. We all get to eat from the table.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's something that maybe costs, say, equivalent to a million, 10 million USD, how can we come to the table and invest?
Right.
So what projects do y'all have? What projects do you want to see? What things have y'all put together that you say, if I just had the investors for, what can you present? What can we help with? It can't just be one-sided now. You got to, allow us to have input in certain things.
Right.
But how can we help you?
Hallelujah. So that's all you got, love?
I could say a lot more, but I'm just going to stop right there.
But family, we just want to thank you guys. I know this was a long video, but we appreciate those of you who stayed here with us through this video. So listen, we need y'all support. What we need from you guys is to, if you are not a subscriber of our channel as of yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Also like this video. Also to all of our subscribers that are already with us and our Repack family, please share this video, leave a comment, like it. Also, if you would like to financially support what we're doing here on the continent, you can support us by Cash App, or you can support us by becoming a part of our Repack family on Patreon. Just look us up on Patreon at Stepping Stones to Home. All right? So family, be blessed, and we look forward to all of us uniting together in taking Africa to the next level. Shalom.
Shalom.